Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're having a great time out there. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Today we're talking about an important subject and an important matter is how to prevent mold on your sneakers. And I know this is a big issue from the brand. Sometimes we get sneakers that are moldy, so it's important that first of all we prevent sneaker mold and actually any mold on your actual environment. So today we're going to talk about mold prevention. So, welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're having a great time out there. I'll be all looking after yourself both mentally and physically, and you keep pushing those barriers, you keep pushing those boundaries, and you're on target for your goals in 2023, and you keep laying the foundations to level up over the next couple of years, because I want to see you do well. Everybody wants to see you do well, and obviously we want you to see everybody level up and be successful. And on top of that, please do go and check out the Shoe Dog podcast where me and the bro 808 Kicks 808 we talk about sneaker drama, sneaker news, sneaker bad behavior, because we always take that to sneaker court of public opinion, where we give our public opinion, guys. And on top of that, please do like, follow, subscribe, come and chat to me. Let's have a conversation. Let's break it down like we always do, because it's important to talk. And now it's important to talk about prevention methods, because if you suffer from mold, if you suffer from any moisture in the atmosphere that will kind of escalate the mold levels in your house, this is 4 tips you need to do to actually help you prevent that mold coming back, or mold prevention in general. So mold is basically atmospheric moisture which settles in areas and it actually accumulates into a damp environment, which creates mold spores, which then actually attacks a lot of things like your walls and your fabrics and your clothes and your sneakers. So it's really important that you actually get that prevention methods that I'm about to tell you to actually stop mold from accumulating. Some of this is more prevention than actually accumulation of mold. If you have mold issues, then basically try and kind of combat that by taking some mold repellents and cleaning the surfaces. If it gets into your clothes and sneakers, then it's kind of really bad, because at the end of the day it will start to degrade your actual clothing and fabric. So it's really important that you actually keep on top, and obviously you get the mold spore smells, and it's absolutely horrendous. So it's important. I've actually suffered with mold in different apartments, and even in this room. This is like an outhouse room, so it's really important that the moisture levels are kept in check. And I will break down for you guys of what you need to do. And number 1 step is, if you can, store stuff in a dry place. Try and store your sneakers and your clothes and all of that stuff in a dry place if you can, because the prevention methods are good for environments that are damp. But if you can store sneakers or any other clothing or any other equipment in a dry place, then I recommend that first of all. Number 1, because basically it means that you eradicate any moisture problems. But if you do suffer with mold issues, if you do suffer with anything in terms of the mold retention on your actual environment, then it's important that you actually start to use compounds like silica gel packets, which is basically a silica substance which takes away moisture in closed environments. So basically you can put them in your sneaker boxes. I recommend putting 1 pack of these in your sneaker boxes if you can. And what it does is basically takes the moisture out of the box, and it starts to slowly prevent moisture from accumulating in your box. You can get one of these for like, I think a pack of 50 of these for like £3.50 or £4, even up to £5. So it's not that expensive, and it's quite, I would recommend leaving one of these on a general basis in your sneakers or in your sneaker boxes, because that means these silica gel packs will actually stop moisture accumulation in your sneakers. And that's really important, because step 1 is trying to take the moisture away from any environment. Put them in your closets, put them in your wardrobes, and put them in your sneakers, because this little packet is a miracle changer. It literally will help prevent moisture buildup in your boxes, in anything else. But this is a second variation. If you can't keep them in a dry environment, try using these silica gel packs, because basically these will help. Number 3 is basically either cover your sneakers in a towel or something that's going to prevent moisture from actually getting to them. And what I normally do is basically this microchip anti-static bags. This is like an 18 inch by 18 inch square pack, and as you can see, it's more like you put microchips and you put motherboards in this, but you can get bigger packs that you can actually put your sneakers in. It's a sealant resealant pack, so basically you can actually seal it and reseal it, as you can see, and it kind of what you want to do with it is put your sneakers in, try to take as much moisture out by kind of squeezing the air out of it, and then seal it. These ain't vacuum packed bags, but basically it kind of means that they're in a environment which kind of prevents moisture, and these like static bags are really good for kind of preventing that moisture on your sneakers. I used to kind of put them all in one, like I used to have one per sneaker, so basically you're talking about a build up, so you can actually get like 50 packs for like around £20, so it's not too bad for actually kind of get them and put your sneakers in them and put them away and wrap them up and leave them there. Some people use other things like tissue papers, or some people ever use like towels to wrap their sneakers in. It prevents moisture from getting it, and we know what moisture does to midsoles. It actually kind of destroys it. If moisture gets into your midsole and you don't wear your sneakers as much, it means it will kind of like basically crumble, and we know that that's a massive problem, because with foam sneakers that's a big problem. With rubber sneakers like Jordan 1, it's not much of a bigger problem, but it's important that you try and eradicate that moisture, because once moisture gets into your midsoles, you have to keep wearing your sneakers to crease that moisture out, otherwise it will basically break down the midsole of your sneakers, and it's important that you actually kind of try and wear it. But that's number 3, is try and wrap up the sneakers, especially if you're in a moisture damp environment and you don't want mold, spores, or actually particles to settle on your sneakers and kind of reproduce and kind of cover your sneakers. And that's one of the things that actually the brands don't realize, is when they store them sneakers in the warehouses are probably damp, and then that accumulation of mold kind of settles on the sneakers. They're not kind of verified. They're actually in their racket or packs, and basically when they ship them out and sell them direct from basically the warehouses, you find the sneakers are all moldy. So it's important that you actually prevent that. Well, if you do, I might do another video for you guys to actually show you how to prevent mold or how to eradicate mold from sneakers. But obviously, if the mold's been there for ages, it's gonna basically destroy the sneaker. That's important that you realize that if you do start wiping away mold and it starts to attack the fibers, it's going to cause an issue. But number 3 is try to wrap your sneakers up. This is only for extreme cases where you know there's going to be damp in the environment. Use a static bag, use a towel, use something like mini towels or microfiber towels and cover your sneakers, and that should help prevent the moisture attacking the sneakers, because it'll just settle on the actual package or actual towels. But it's important that you go and look at your products and your towels to make sure they actually aren't basically getting detrimental and leaking through to your sneakers. But that's number 3, guys. Number 4, and this is the most important bit of the actual conversation. Guys, if you live in an environment where it's really damp, get yourself a dehumidifier. Basically, get yourself a dehumidifier which you can actually control the actual percentage of moisture settings, and it's got like a thermometer in it that actually allows you to monitor the moisture in the air, and then basically tries to eradicate the moisture to a percentage. So I know from my experience that 45% to 55% of moisture in the actual atmosphere is prime. Basically, that's what the range you need to keep it at. And if it below 45% is too dry, it will basically dry out the room. It will dry out your eyes when you're working. It will do a lot in terms of eradicating the moisture in the atmosphere. It will work your dehumidifier a bit more harder, so it takes more electricity. So all of those points you have to kind of monitor. But I know 45 to 55% is what you need in a dehumidifier to control the atmospheric moisture from stopping mold from actually accumulating. Anything above 60%, this is why I keep it between 45 to 55%. Anything above 60% means there's high moisture in the atmosphere, which means that there will be a risk of actually moisture settling and therefore creating a mold spore. So guys, get yourself a dehumidifier. I think I got a Mecco dehumidifier myself. It costs about maybe 250, 300. It could go up to about £500, but it will be a miracle saver for especially environments and especially warehouses where you actually do have moisture in your atmosphere. And this room suffers from moisture in the atmosphere, and I've got a lot of sneakers behind me that I want to stop getting mold on. So I have a dehumidifier that's constantly on. If I'm working, if I'm recording, it's off, but normally what it happens is I put it on and walk away, and it gets the actual atmospheric moisture to 50% to 45%, and that's absolutely perfect to stop mold settlement in any environment. My dehumidifier controls like a small living room and actual basement flat, but you can get bigger dehumidifiers because you can actually put that actually basically controls the moisture in the whole house. You have to kind of put it in a specific area like the hallway, or the upper hallway, that actually literally will control your moisture. And it's important that you do that because it stops mold from settling. And if I recommend one thing is get yourself a dehumidifier. I know it's going to cost a bit, but think about it this way. You've got thousands of pounds in sneakers behind you, and basically you want to make sure you don't actually kind of destroy them. And to get rid of the moisture in the atmosphere, the best thing to do is get yourself a dehumidifier. Small investment, big change, and it will basically change your perspective of the room. At this moment in time, I don't use these anymore because I've got the moisture control of a dehumidifier. I have the silica gels in my actual sneakers, basically just packs, just to prevent the additional moisture that might build up. But a dehumidifier will change your life, and it will stop mold from actually building up in your actual room or in your actual apartment. It will change everything. It will change the dynamics, and it will make your life a bit of a livable life, especially if you suffer from a lot of mold, because I know mold smells. Mold is very toxic for the actual health as well, for your respiratory health, everything else that you're breathing, all of that stuff. So it's important that you don't kind of suffer from inhaling all the mold spores. So it's important that you kind of get yourself a dehumidifier, guys. I know you can get cheap dehumidifiers, you can get small dehumidifiers. I've got a medium-sized dehumidifier, which is, I think, a 2.5 litre capacity, which runs for like a couple of days before it gets full. If you get a 5 litre, basically it runs for like a whole week before it gets full. So it will control it. Depends on the dampness of your actual environment. But guys, get yourself a dehumidifier. I'm not going to tell you a product. Research it. If you want me to kind of do some kind of background checks for dehumidifiers, let me know, because I'll DM me, just let me know, and I'll give you my recommendations. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'll just give you my recommendations, because the ones I've been buying is basically the ones I use, and they have been a miracle changer, because my room does not suffer with mold anymore. So guys, 4 prevention methods. Number 1, dry place. Number 2, silica gel packs. Number 3, cover your sneakers, especially if it's in a damp environment. Get some anti-static bags or get some mini microfiber towels. And number 4, get yourself a dehumidifier so you can prevent that moisture buildup in your environment. It will really change the dampness in your environment. And guys, I'm not even joking. As soon as you walk into a room and it's got a dehumidifier on and it's sucked all the atmospheric moisture out, it feels warmer, it feels drier, it feels way more better. Trust me, I use one, I know. So 4 tips for mold prevention, guys. Hopefully this video was helpful. I'm just trying to help you guys, because I know I used to suffer with it, and I'm just basically bringing you my experience of how to prevent some situations happening with your sneakers. I don't want you guys to buy sneakers and all of a sudden you can't wear your sneakers because there's all this mold on it. Next couple of videos, I'll try to do mold prevention to show you guys how to prevent mold, or how to take away mold from sneakers, because it's important that if you do get a pair of moldy sneakers, how to kind of treat them. But I'm trying to just give you my experience of how to prevent certain situations from happening, and I know I've been through certain situations, so I'm trying to give you my advice. I'm trying to give you my guidance so that you guys don't suffer the same things I've done. But this is another series that I'm trying to open up to you guys, to help you guys to make sure your sneakers last the longest thing possible, the longest lifespan possible, so that you can keep wearing the awesome sneakers that you always get, and you're not wasting your money by them actually degrading quicker. So on that note, guys, thank you for all your love and support that you always show. And also, like I always say at the end of the video, I hope you have an amazing week, amazing month, and an amazing year, and I hope you guys cop the sneakers you like, because you deserve to get the sneakers you want. So make sure you look after your sneakers as much as possible, guys. And for me, TJ, I love Kate Customs. Peace out for now, guys, and peace.